My name's Michelle Turner and I teach biology. The biology course covers all aspects of biology to give a really good grounding to the students for going on to university. So it covers the basics of cell biology and the fundamentals of life, moving on to the cell and how things move in and out of cells. We look at gas exchange, circulation, the heart, biodiversity, and then going on to year 13, where we take a look at some of the more complicated processes. So we have photosynthesis, respiration, how nerve impulses work, how muscles contract, genetics, epigenetics. It's the most fascinating course. A lot of the skills are in the application of the knowledge. So they learn the basics and then they have to be able to apply it into the real world. Many of our students have gone on to medicine, veterinary, biomed, nutrition. We have other students that go on to psychology and other sort of essay-based subjects because of the language requirements that biology has. And there's the essay component on paper 3. A lot of universities like students to have biology, even if they're not going on to do a medical linked degree.
My name is Emily.
My name's Libby.
I'm Oscar and we're talking about biology.
Biology. I really enjoyed it at GCSE. It was one of my favourite subjects and also one of my best subjects. So it was best of both worlds. I'm fairly good at it and I also really enjoyed it. And I also have always been interested in why things happen and how living organisms sort of came to be.
Biology for me wasn't necessarily a primary choice, it was rather a support choice. I took biology because it helped tie into the other subjects I was taking.
I chose biology because I'm a very science-oriented person. I take the other two sciences as well as maths. I just have a great interest in finding out how stuff works.
I definitely enjoy all of the practical stuff that we've been doing. While the theory itself is really interesting, I think it's really nice to have a sort of hands-on approach and get to really just see for yourself how things work at such a microscopic level.
I would definitely say either biological molecules or photosynthesis. I think at GCSE you learn sort of the base levels of photosynthesis, whereas in A-level you really go into detail and it makes so much more sense to me. I find my understanding comes from when I go into depth about a topic and I understand why it happens rather than just, oh, it happens because of this. And I think doing biology has definitely strengthened that.
A big highlight for me is respiration and photosynthesis because at GCSE level you're just told that we're just reduced to this simple word equation, but at A level you begin to notice that there's just so many different cycles and processes that take place within each one, and it's much more interesting for me to go in this high level of detail than just the surface level I previously got.
I definitely think it does, specifically from a personal perspective. When we think about respiration, if anyone who hasn't really taken biology, they think of respiration as just inhaling and exhaling, but when you take biology, you start to understand all of these intrinsic processes and it just makes this holistic approach just makes everything feel so much more complete inside of your own body.
Certainly, because as your study gets more advanced, it makes you realize just how complicated living organisms are. Even in simple bacteria, there's a ton of metabolic processes going on.
It definitely has. In A-level biology you learn a lot about why things happen, so you don't just get told, oh, a muscle contracts, you understand why and how the different parts of the mechanism work. And especially in respiration, it's not just as simple as the equation, there's a whole load of different cycles and there's different elements of the course get tied into loads of other different topics, so it's very much, it makes sense.
I think definitely, if you want to know more about the world around you, any sort of science is really important to take, but I think that biology is specifically very vital.
it's not for everyone, but I can say that if you have an inquisitive mind, you want to know how things work, and you're interested in living organisms and the interactions within them and between them, then it's a great option.
I definitely would. I've really enjoyed it, and it's definitely one of my favourite subjects, and I'll be sad to see A-level biology go.